concept of stranded assets has been with us for as long as business has existed or investing has existed. There's examples of stranding throughout economic history. For example, if in 1900 you were a manufacturer of buggy whips, that was probably not a good thing because the automobile was becoming the preferred mode of transport. And there's examples of technology change. There's examples of consumer taste changing. Those are ultimately around assets that become stranded. Those actions, those circumstances mean that companies or assets or businesses become less valuable. So the notion of stranding is it possible that circumstances, whether it be economic, whether it be competition, or regulatory or societal, is that those circumstances change the construct of business for a company or the possibilities for companies. Now, we take that forward to our current time, and there are examples of other businesses that we think are stranded, particularly given the importance of technology and technological change, and you can see that in retailers with Amazon and Google, etc. But what we're really focused on in this case, and what we've written about, is stranded assets in the carbon space. What we see as we transition to a low-carbon economy, which is beginning, in fact it is happening even as we speak, we see that a number of hydrocarbon-based businesses are becoming stranded with their asset base. Not all, because there are some hydrocarbons that will continue to be part of the mix in the years ahead, but there are some that are particularly carbon intensive, particularly polluting, that will likely be less valuable as the market develops. And there are three ways that assets, in this case, and carbon assets, can be stranded. The first is public policy. The second is consumer preference. And the third is the cost down curve of alternatives. And what people often think is, well, we're not going to get a price on carbon in the United States for a couple of years, although we have it here in California, therefore we don't need to worry about it. Well, the truth of the matter is that the cost of solar panels, for example, are coming down very quickly, and it is becoming very cost competitive. So the whole notion around stranding is, what is the long-term outlook for a business? In this case, we think carbon-intensive businesses will lose much of their value as we accelerate the transition to low-carbon economy. And what we think that investors are missing at this point is, in fact, that this acceleration is happening even as we speak, and is going to be much quicker and much more significant than even those of us who believe it's happening can imagine.